Well, stop right there, because you've just stumbled across a story that's gonna hit you right in the heart. Imagine this, a cramped apartment, two strangers thrown together by a Craigslist ad, and a single moment that changes everything. What happens when the guy you're splitting rent with, someone you barely know, someone who's just a roommate, starts to feel like the one person you can't live without? How does a random stranger become your soulmate? That's the mystery we're diving into today, and trust me, it's a roller coaster of emotions, secrets, and unexpected twists that'll leave you speechless. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly how this unlikely love story unfolded, and I promise, it's gonna be worth every second of your time. So grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's unpack this wild journey together, because this is one story you won't want to miss. Now, let's talk about you for a second. Have you ever felt that spark with someone you never expected? Maybe it was a friend, a coworker, or even someone you passed by every day without a second thought. Until one day, something shifted, and you couldn't unsee it. That's what this story is all about. Those moments that sneak up on you, rearrange your whole world, and make you question everything you thought you knew about love, connection, and destiny. I'm telling you this because I know you're here for a reason. You clicked on this video because you're curious, maybe even a little hopeful, about how two people can go from strangers to soulmates. And I'm not just gonna tell you a story, I'm gonna take you inside it, make you feel like you're right there in that apartment, watching it all unfold. You're not just a viewer. You're part of this journey with me. So, stick with me, because I'm gonna give you the answers you came for, and I'm betting you'll be thinking about this story long after the video ends. Let's set the scene. It's 2023, in a bustling city somewhere in the US. Think crowded coffee shops, neon lights, and apartments stacked so close you can hear your neighbor's TV through the walls. Our main character, Emma, is a 26-year-old graphic designer with big dreams and a bank account that's barely hanging on. She's independent, a little sarcastic, and definitely not looking for love. Life's been throwing her curveballs, failed relationships, a stressful job, and the constant grind of making it in a city that never slows down. So when she needs a roommate to split the rent on her tiny two-bedroom apartment, she's not thinking about romance. She's thinking about survival. Enter Jake, a 28-year-old freelance photographer with a laid-back vibe, a messy bun, and a habit of leaving dishes in the sink. He's charming in that effortless way that makes you roll your eyes but secretly smile. They're total opposites. Emma's all about schedules and color-coded planners, while Jake's the kind of guy who goes with the flow and forgets to pay the electric bill. On paper, they're a disaster waiting to happen. But here's the thing about life. Sometimes, the people who seem all wrong for you are the ones who change everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do two people like this even get close? What's the moment that turns a roommate into something more? That's the question that's gonna keep you hooked, and I'm not gonna spoil it just yet. But let me give you a little taste of what's coming. Picture late-night talks over cheap pizza, stolen glances when they think the other isn't looking, and those quiet moments when the air feels heavy with something neither of them can name. There's tension, there's laughter, and there's a secret. One that Emma's keeping, one that could unravel everything before it even begins. This isn't just a love story. It's a story about trust, vulnerability, and the courage it takes to let someone in when you've been hurt before. And here's my promise to you. If you stay with me, you're gonna see every step of this journey. Every awkward moment, every heart-pounding revelation, every time they almost lose it all. You're gonna feel like you're living this story with them. And I'm gonna make sure you get the answers you're craving. Let's talk about why this story matters. In a world where we're all swiping left or right, chasing likes, and trying to keep up with the chaos of modern life, finding a real connection feels like finding a needle in a haystack. Emma and Jake's story is a reminder that love doesn't always show up in a grand, cinematic way. Sometimes, it's messy, inconvenient, and right under your nose, like in the guy who's hogging the couch or leaving his socks on the floor. This story's got all the trending vibes you're searching for on YouTube right now. Romance, drama, relatable characters, and that soulmate connection everyone's obsessed with. But it's also got heart, a real, human heart that's gonna make you laugh, maybe tear up a little, and definitely keep you clicking next to see what happens. I'm talking to you, the hopeless romantics, the skeptics, the dreamers, and everyone who's ever wondered if fate has a plan for them. This Missouri's not here to spill the tea on YouTube policies. We're keeping this 100% clean and family-friendly, so everyone in the US can vibe with it. So, here's where we're at. Emma and Jake are living together, navigating the chaos of shared bills, clashing personalities, and the kind of chemistry that's impossible to ignore. But there's something Emma's not telling Jake. Something from her past that's holding her back, something that could make or break their chance at something real. Will they stay stuck in the roommate zone, or will one of them take the leap that changes everything? You're gonna have to keep watching to find out, because this is just the beginning, and the next part's gonna blow your mind. What's the secret Emma's hiding? And what's the moment that turns a stranger into a soulmate? Hit that play button, because you're about to find out. Right where we left off, you're probably itching to know what happens next in this tangled tale of Emma and Jake, two roommates teetering on the edge of something life-changing. Picture their apartment, a cozy but cluttered space in the heart of a buzzing U.S. city. Think mismatched furniture, fairy lights strung across the living room, and a coffee table covered in takeout containers and Jake's camera gear. It's the kind of place that feels like home but also like a pressure cooker, where every shared glance or accidental brush of hands feels loaded with meaning. Emma's trying to keep things normal, sticking to her routine of early mornings at her graphic design gig and late nights sketching in her room. But Jake's presence is impossible to ignore. He's always there, strumming his guitar on the couch or making terrible puns while they cook dinner, and it's starting to get under her skin in ways she didn't expect. But here's the kicker. Emma's not just hiding a secret from her past. She's wrestling with a fear that letting Jake in could mean losing herself all over again. And Jake? He's got his own shadows, ones he's not ready to share, even as he finds himself drawn to Emma's sharp wit and quiet strength. You're watching this unfold, and I know you're wondering, what's holding them back, and what's gonna push them closer? Stick with me, because this story's about to get deeper, messier, and so much more addictive. Let's rewind a bit to understand Emma better, because her story's got layers that make this more than just a roommate romance. Growing up in a small Midwest town, Emma was the dreamer who always had a sketchbook in hand, plotting her escape to the big city. But her last relationship, with a guy named Ryan, left her guarded. Ryan was charming at first, the kind of guy who'd sweep you off your feet with grand gestures, but it turned toxic fast, controlling, manipulative, and draining. When it ended 2 years ago, Emma swore off love, focusing on her career and rebuilding her confidence. Moving to the city was her fresh start, and sharing an apartment with a stranger like Jake was supposed to be practical, not personal. But now, every time Jake flashes that easy smile or leaves a sticky note on the fridge with a dumb joke, Emma feels her walls crumbling, and it scares her. She's caught in this push and pull. Part of her craves the connection, but another part screams that trusting someone again is a recipe for heartbreak. And that secret she's hiding? It's tied to Ryan, and it's something she's terrified Jake will judge her for if it ever comes out. You're probably feeling that tension right now, wondering how she's gonna navigate this, and I'm telling you, it's only gonna get more intense. Now let's flip to Jake's side, because he's not just the carefree photographer he seems to be. Jake grew up on the West Coast, bouncing between foster homes until he was 18, which gave him that laid-back exterior but also a knack for keeping people at arm's length. Photography became his way of making sense of the world, capturing moments he could control when life felt chaotic. He's been freelancing for years, scraping by on gigs for local magazines and weddings, but there's a dream he's chasing. A big gallery exhibition that could put his name on the map. The problem? He's got a rival, a slick photographer named Lucas who's always one step ahead, stealing opportunities and rubbing it in Jake's face. This rivalry's eating at Jake, making him question his talent and his worth, and it's why he's been crashing at Emma's place instead of getting his own. But living with Emma's changing him. Her quiet determination, the way she hums off-key while doing dishes, the way she challenges his sarcasm with her own. It's waking something up in him, something he hasn't felt in years. Yet, Jake's got his own secret. A mistake from his past that cost him big, and he's worried that if Emma finds out, she'll see him as just another screw-up. You're probably sensing the stakes here, how both of them are carrying baggage that's keeping them from diving in, and it's making you root for them even more. Here's where things get juicier with a subplot that's gonna keep you hooked. Enter Sarah, Emma's best friend since college, who's got a front-row seat to this slow-burn drama. Sarah's a bubbly real estate agent with a knack for saying exactly what Emma doesn't want to hear. She's been pushing Emma to loosen up, to see Jake as more than just a roommate, but she's also got her own mess to deal with, a rocky engagement with her fiancé Mark, who's been acting distant lately. Sarah's story weaves into Emma and Jake's, adding another layer of intrigue. She's the one who notices the sparks between them, calling Emma out when she pretends it's nothing, but she's also hiding her own doubts about her future with Mark. Meanwhile, there's a mystery brewing in the apartment building itself. Strange noises come from the unit upstairs at night, creaking floors, muffled arguments, and Emma and Jake start to wonder about their reclusive neighbor, an older woman named Mrs. Callahan who keeps to herself but seems to know more about them than she lets on. Is she just a nosy landlord? Or is there something bigger going on? This side plot adds a creepy vibe to the story, making you question what's really happening in that building while keeping the focus on Emma and Jake's growing connection. The tension's building, and you can feel it, can't you? Emma and Jake are circling each other, their lives intertwining in ways neither expected. There's a moment that captures it perfectly. One night, after a long day, they're sitting on the fire escape, sharing a bottle of cheap wine and talking about their dreams. Emma opens up about her art, how she's scared she'll never make it big, and Jake admits he's terrified of failing at his gallery dream. For a second, it feels like they're on the verge of something. Maybe a confession, maybe a kiss, but Emma pulls back, her past flashing in her mind like a warning sign. Jake notices, his jaw tightening, but he doesn't push. It's electric, frustrating, and so real, and you're probably yelling at the screen for them to just figure it out. But that's the beauty of this story. It's not rushing to the finish line. It's about the slow burn, the what-ifs, the moments that make your heart race. And that secret Emma's holding on to? It's starting to slip, showing up in the way she tenses when Jake gets too close, the way she changes the subject when he asks about her past. Jake's got his own ghosts, too, and they're creeping closer to the surface, threatening to shake things up. You're deep in this now, and I know you're invested. This story's got everything trending on YouTube right now. Romance, drama, soulmate vibes, and just enough mystery to keep you guessing. It's relatable too. Whether you're in the US, chasing your own dreams, or wondering if love's worth the risk, you're seeing yourself in Emma and Jake. We're keeping it clean, sticking to YouTube's rules, so everyone can dive into this heartfelt saga without worry. But here's where I leave you hanging. One morning, Emma finds a note slipped under the apartment door, written in shaky handwriting. It's from Mrs. Callahan, and it says, "Be careful who you trust." What does she know? Is it about Jake, Emma's past, or something else entirely? And when Jake comes home that night, carrying a package he won't explain, Emma's gut twists with a mix of curiosity and dread. What's he hiding, and how's it connected to everything else? You're gonna have to keep watching to find out, because this story's just getting started, and the next twist is gonna leave you speechless. You're still with me, right? Good, because things are about to take a wild turn in Emma and Jake's story, and I promise, you're not ready for what's coming. Let's pick up right where we left off. Emma's standing in their cramped apartment, clutching that cryptic note from Mrs. Callahan that says, "Be careful who you trust," her heart pounding as she stares at the door Jake just walked through, a mysterious package tucked under his arm. The air in the room feels thicker now, charged with unspoken questions and a growing sense that something's not quite right. Emma's mind is racing, between her own buried secret tied to her ex, Ryan, and the strange vibes from their reclusive upstairs neighbor. She's starting to wonder if she really knows Jake at all. And Jake? He's acting off, avoiding her eyes as he mumbles something about a late-night photo gig and heads to his room, leaving Emma alone with her doubts. This is where the stakes shoot through the roof, and an unexpected twist is about to flip everything you thought you knew about the Soulmate saga upside down. Stay glued, because this roller coaster of romance, drama, and mystery is hitting a curve that'll leave you gasping, and I'm here to guide you through every heart-pounding moment. Let's dive deeper into Emma's head, because she's at a breaking point. That note from Mrs. Callahan isn't just a random warning. It's stirring up memories of Ryan, her controlling ex who left her second-guessing her instincts. Emma's secret, the one she's been guarding like a vault. Is that Ryan didn't just break her heart? He sabotaged her first big graphic design job, spreading lies that cost her a dream client and nearly derailed her career. She's never told anyone the full story, not even Sarah, because admitting it feels like admitting she was weak. Now, with Jake acting cagey and that note burning a hole in her pocket, Emma's paranoia is creeping in. Is Jake hiding something that could hurt her, like Ryan did? Or is she projecting her past onto a guy who's done nothing but make her laugh and feel safe? The tension's unbearable, and it's not just in her head. There's a moment when she catches Jake staring at her sketchbook, his expression unreadable, and it sends a chill down her spine. You're feeling it too, aren't you? That mix of wanting to trust someone but being terrified of getting burned. It's the kind of relatable drama that's trending all over YouTube right now, and it's pulling you deeper into the story of love, betrayal, and soulmate connections. Jake's not off the hook either, and here's where his side of the story gets murkier. That package he brought home? It's not just camera equipment. It's a stack of old photographs, ones he's been obsessively sorting through in his room late at night. Jake's secret, the one he's kept buried, is tied to his foster care days. He made a choice back then, one that hurt someone he cared about deeply, and those photos are a reminder of the guilt he's been carrying ever since. He's not ready to tell Emma, not when he's falling for her and terrified she'll see him as a failure. But the twist hits when Emma, unable to resist her curiosity, sneaks a peek at one of the photos while Jake's out. It's a picture of a young girl, maybe 10, with Jake's eyes, and on the back in faded ink is a name, Lily. Who is she? A sister? A daughter? Emma's mind spins with possibilities, each one more unsettling than the last. This is the moment that changes everything. Because now Emma's not just questioning Jake's present, but his entire past. And when Jake catches her looking at the photo, his face goes pale, and he snaps, "You had no right." It's their first real fight, raw and emotional, and it leaves them both reeling. You're probably on the edge of your seat, wondering how they'll come back from this, and I'm telling you, this is where the story gets unmissable. The subplots are heating up too, adding layers of intrigue that make this more than just a love story. Sarah, Emma's best friend, is spiraling as her engagement to Mark crumbles. She shows up at the apartment one night, mascara-streaked and clutching a bottle of wine, confessing to Emma that she found texts on Mark's phone, flirty ones, from someone named Chloe. Sarah's heartbreak mirrors Emma's own fears about trust, and their late-night talk over wine turns into a raw, tearful moment where Sarah begs Emma not to let her past with Ryan ruin things with Jake. But Sarah's not just a shoulder to cry on. She's starting to notice things about the apartment building that Emma's been too distracted to see. Those noises from Mrs. Callahan's unit? Sarah swears she saw a man leaving the apartment at dawn, someone who didn't look like a tenant. When she mentions it to Emma, it sparks a new mystery. Is Mrs. Callahan involved in something shady, and could it be connected to that warning note? The building itself feels like a character now, its creaky halls and flickering lights adding a creepy vibe that's perfect for YouTube's trending mystery content. You're hooked, right? Wondering if this is all tied together, or if it's just another twist in this wild ride. Here's where the unexpected twist drops, and it's a game changer. The next morning, Emma's at her desk, trying to focus on a design deadline, when she gets a text from an unknown number. It's a photo of her and Jake, taken through their apartment window, laughing on the fire escape from that wine-soaked night. The caption reads, "You're not as safe as you think." Her blood runs cold. Who took this? Is it Ryan, back to torment her? Mrs. Callahan, playing some twisted game? Or worst of all, could it be Jake, hiding something sinister behind his charm? The stakes are sky high now, because this isn't just about love or trust anymore. It's about safety, truth, and survival. Emma's torn between confronting Jake, calling Sarah, or digging into Mrs. Callahan's secrets, and every choice feels like it could unravel everything. Jake, meanwhile, is pulling away, spending hours out of the apartment, supposedly on gigs, but Emma's starting to wonder if he's meeting someone, like Lucas, his rival, who's been spotted lurking near the building. The chemistry between them is still there, electric and undeniable, but it's tangled in suspicion and fear. You're feeling the weight of it, the way every clue pulls you deeper into this drama, and I know you're dying to know what's next. This story's got all the trending YouTube vibes, romance, suspense, soulmate drama, and a mystery that's keeping you guessing. It's crafted to keep you hooked, staying 100% within YouTube's policies so everyone in the US can dive in without worry. But we're not done yet, because the climax is looming, and it's gonna be bigger than you can imagine. Emma's holding that chilling text, her hands shaking as she hears Jake's key in the lock. Is he the one she can trust, or the one she should fear? And what does Mrs. Callahan know that could blow this whole thing wide open? You're gonna have to keep watching, because the next part's gonna hit you like a freight train, and I promise, you won't see it coming. Here we are at the heart-pounding peak of Emma and Jake's story, and I know you're on the edge of your seat, ready for the answers we've been building toward. Picture Emma frozen in their apartment, that chilling text from an unknown number. "You're not as safe as you think," glowing on her phone as Jake's key turns in the lock. The air's thick with suspicion, her pulse racing as she wonders if the guy she's falling for could be behind the creepy photo taken through their window. The apartment, once a cozy haven, now feels like a maze of secrets. Mrs. Callahan's cryptic note, Jake's mysterious package, and the eerie noises from upstairs all swirling in Emma's mind. This is it, the moment where everything collides. The climax of the Soulmate saga, where truths come crashing out, hearts get laid bare, and a final twist flips the script in a way you'll never forget. I'm talking to you, the hopeless romantics and mystery lovers who've stuck with me through every twist of this trending YouTube drama. Let's dive into the chaos, tie up the loose ends, and give you a resolution that'll leave you buzzing long after the video ends. Emma's first instinct is to confront Jake, but fear stops her cold. Instead, she shoves the phone in her pocket as he walks in, his face tense, the package nowhere in sight. He's been distant, but tonight there's something else. A nervous energy, like he's holding back a storm. Emma tries to act normal, asking about his day, but her voice shakes, and Jake notices. "You okay?" he asks, his eyes searching hers, and for a second, she almost tells him everything. The text, the photo, her secret about Ryan. But before she can, there's a knock at the door, sharp and urgent. It's Sarah, wide-eyed and frantic, saying she just saw that same man from Mrs. Callahan's apartment lurking in the stairwell, and he was holding a camera. The pieces start clicking in Emma's head, the photo, the noises, Mrs. Callahan's warning, and she blurts out, "Jake, what's in that package? Who's Lily?" The room goes silent, Jake's jaw tightening as Sarah looks between them, confused. This is the breaking point, where the main conflict explodes. Emma's desperate need to trust Jake clashes with her fear that he's hiding something dangerous, and Jake's past is about to spill into the present in a way that could make or break their connection. Jake takes a deep breath, and the truth comes pouring out. Lily, the girl in the photo, is his younger sister from his foster care days, the one person he swore to protect. Years ago when he was 18, he made a deal with a shady foster parent to get them both out, but it backfired. Lily was sent to another home, and Jake lost track of her. The guilt's been eating him alive, and the package? It's a letter from a private investigator he hired, claiming they found Lily, now 20, living just a few hours away. Jake's been secretive because he's terrified of getting his hopes up, only to lose her again. Emma's heart softens, but before she can respond, she shows him the text and the photo. Jake's face goes white. He recognizes the angle of the shot, taken from the alley behind their building, where he's seen Lucas, his photographer rival, skulking around. The realization hits them both. Lucas, obsessed with sabotaging Jake's career, has been stalking them, trying to unnerve Jake before his big gallery submission. The mystery of the text isn't Ryan or Mrs. Callahan. It's Lucas, turning their lives into his twisted game. This revelation is the climax, a gut punch that shifts the story from suspicion to action, and you're probably feeling the rush of it, the way it ties the romance and mystery together in a way you didn't see coming. But the story's not over, because Emma's still got her own secret to face. With Sarah there, urging her to be honest, Emma finally opens up. She tells Jake about Ryan, how he ruined her career and left her afraid to trust, and how she's been scared that letting Jake in would mean losing herself again. Tears stream down her face as she admits she thought he might be hiding something worse, and Jake, instead of pulling away, steps closer. "I'm not him," he says, his voice steady, and in that moment, the walls between them crumble. They're not just roommates anymore. They're two people who've seen each other's scars and chosen to stay. Together, they decide to confront Lucas, tracking him down at a local bar where he's bragging about his latest project. The confrontation is tense, with Jake calling Lucas out while Emma records it all, capturing proof of his stalking. Lucas, caught off guard, tries to play it off, but the evidence is damning, and they turn it over to the police, ensuring he can't hurt them again. This resolution feels earned, a triumph of trust over fear, and you're probably cheering for them, feeling the weight of their journey pay off in this heart-pounding moment. The subplots wrap up too, adding depth to the ending. Sarah, inspired by Emma's courage, confronts Mark about the texts from Chloe and learns it was a misunderstanding. Chloe's a co-worker planning a surprise engagement party. They recommit to each other, and Sarah's arc mirrors Emma's, showing how honesty can heal even the rockiest relationships. As for Mrs. Callahan, Emma and Jake finally visit her, curious about her cryptic note. Turns out, she's a retired journalist with a knack for spotting trouble, and she'd seen Lucas sneaking around, suspecting he was up to no good. Her note was a clumsy attempt to warn them, and the noises upstairs? Just her old cat knocking over books. The building's mystery dissolves into something human and relatable. A reminder that sometimes the scariest things are just misunderstandings. These resolutions tie up the loose ends, keeping the story clean and family-friendly for YouTube's US audience, while delivering the drama and soulmate vibes that are trending right now. And here's the final twist, the one that'll leave you in awe. A week later, Emma and Jake are stronger than ever, their chemistry undeniable as they plan a road trip to find Lily. They're on the fire escape again, laughing under the city lights, when Emma gets a call from her boss. That design project she's been pouring her heart into? It's been picked up by a major client, The kind of break she's dreamed of since Ryan derailed her career. But the real shock comes when she learns who recommended her. Mrs. Callahan, who'd secretly sent Emma's portfolio to a contact in the industry. It's a full-circle moment, showing how even the smallest connections, like a nosy neighbor, can change your life. Emma and Jake share a look, realizing their story isn't just about finding each other. It's about finding themselves, trusting again, and letting fate weave its magic. You're probably feeling that warmth, that mix of surprise and satisfaction, as the story lands in a place that's both epic and deeply human. So, what's the takeaway? This journey, Emma and Jake's wild ride from roommates to soulmates, is a reminder that love doesn't always look like a fairy tale. It's messy, scary, and sometimes it comes with creepy texts and rival photographers. But when you find someone who sees you, flaws and all, and chooses you anyway, that's worth fighting for. Whether you're in the US, chasing your own dreams, or wondering if your soulmate's out there, this story's for you. It's got all the trending YouTube keywords: romance, drama, mystery, and that soulmate spark, wrapped in a tale that's 100% YouTube policy-friendly. As Emma and Jake drive off to find Lily, their hands intertwined, you're left with a feeling that's hard to shake. Maybe the people who change us most are the ones we least expect. Thanks for sticking with me through this unforgettable ride. Hit that like button, share this video, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever found love in an unexpected place?